Here we are in pretty much part 3. The Brandon Lawson case. Crawl Space podcast, Unsolved Mysteries. I'll be back. Hold on to that thought. Back with another episode of had to come down the basement. I feel comfortable in the basement. I like my basement. I also like the attic. I like dark, spooky places. Other than that, I don't know what. Like I said, this came up before I even looked on it. And when I went to the Texas cactus thing looking for this, looking for that, I also saw an article. So, I went and punched in the name, and then all kinds of stuff came up on this guy. Now, like I say, you go over the, audio that they have. Like I said, I haven't gone over it yet with the earplugs in, but it was very, this guy, he either was one, too scared to death to talk and get his words out straight, or two, he must have been on a real delusional ride of some sort. Either or. Shit, this damn case is damn strange. Very, very just insane. And, this article goes on to say, and I think it's from the brother. And, new information in bold. The fight with him and his wife about drugs. He's trying to get drugs early in the day. He asked Kyle to get some help. Help him get some, his brother to get him drugs. I think the drugs he's referring to is meth, because later in the podcast, he mentions that Brandon occasionally did meth, and he did it the night of his disappearance. Brandon and his wife had a major argument, and he calls his brother at some point to tell him to make sure, Ladessa doesn't touch any of his things while he wasn't home. Now, this is stuff that wasn't even in the original article. While he wasn't home, Kyle told him she hadn't touched anything, and then he gave the phone. Well, obviously, he's in the friggin' house with the wife. Continue arguing. Brandon's brother Kyle returns home and showers, changes clothes. Here we go with another thing not in the last article I read, but then Kyle gets a call from his mother to go back to Brandon. This didn't even mention his mother in the other one. Go back to Brandon in the city's out to calm Brandon down. Oh, this is all before, I guess, because he was flipping out. So this is some new major stuff then, which all it said in the other article pretty much was he called his father. He wanted to stay, but his father told him to go back. He called his brother. I ran out of gas. Didn't mention all this stuff. I read through this and, gazed through it quickly. And like I said, reading this and not having nothing in the original article like this one has. So he's already gone. He asked what happened. She claims Brandon was tripping and flipping out. Then he gets a call from his brother. He got some Mexicans from the neighborhood. Oh. Yeah, that's what I was saying in the other one. Supposedly the wife got some Mexicans from the neighborhood. Not in, like I said, why she wasn't investigated through this thing and why nothing of this came up in the last article or the piece or anything that she had anything to do to get someone after her man at that time. It didn't come up in the original article, as I said in my last thing. Pretty much I read what was written. And neighborhood to chase Brandon out of town, and there were 2 of them still chasing, but state trooper pulled over the 3rd one. So Brandon hangs up with Kyle, calls him back a few minutes later, telling him that he had ran out of gas. So through this point, he's getting chased by Mexicans. I mean, I think he got chased, but I don't think he was forced. Like I said, he's all talking about drugs and meth. I think he just got up in the wrong deal. As Judas Priest song, Raw Deal. You get into them raw deals with a drug dealer or drug runner, things are gonna happen, people. That's right. So he brings some gas. Kyle lets him know he'll have to stop back at their house to get some gas cans. So here we go. Does it say? Brandon calls back several times, but cannot be understood, except for the call when he tells Kyle and Kyle's partner to hurry and that he's bleeding Kyle and his girlfriend away. Now in this one, it don't say nothing about the guy, his brother Kyle, not having no money. He's just gonna bring the gas. Kyle lets him know he'll have to stop back at their house to get some gas cans. Yeah, alright. He's gonna stop at their house. Meaning, I'm sure, meaning the brother is gonna stop at his house and get some gas cans when he was supposed to go to the Brandon's wife's house and get the gas cans. But now this whole story's taking a whole new flip. Now, see, I'm glad I went over this other story because things have changed. And if this just came up a couple days ago and there's already changes in it, something is not gonna add up right. Something happened. And let's go on to read this one thoroughly. So when they arrived, Brandon told them where Brandon told him to meet. And they see Brandon's truck and ask him where he is, but he claims he's right there, though they cannot see him. And I did mention, I think, that he went there, right? The cop was there in the last article I read that you're going the wrong way. Or did it say it here? Or is it here? Oh, this one, yeah, I read through this one. This is where I started to read, thoroughly after I found this, right? When I just happened to go on it after everything else comes up. I finally was like, wow, I might as well read this one, right? And this is where I was saying that the cop said he ain't that way, but Brandon says he sees him. And this is the bizarre thing. They cannot see him. A vehicle approaches. Brandon says to Kyle, one time run. One time. Yeah, that's its term for cops. You got one time, you got the 5-0, you got the po-po. Them are the newer ones. I'm not up to date on all of them either. I mean, there could be newer ones that I don't even know of. You know, I just say a cop is a cop, and I don't care. Yeah, back in the day, pig, oinker, come out with your stupid names for them, but whatever. You know what? A cop's a fucking cop. If you're gonna see a cop, police. What is it gonna matter if you're gonna code name these cops? What does it even matter? Because they're gonna catch you anyways. If they're there on scene, be prepared to be caught, unless you're a damn good runner. But now this is what really baffles some things too. I mean, getting these 2 articles in my head just stuck in the things that were said in the beginning till now, and this is a whole nother matter. Crazy, you call it dark matter, huh? then it says, I'm 99% sure that the term one time is used to refer to cops. Kyle confirms this later in the conversation on the cop podcast, I guess. Kyle tells him he's done nothing wrong and that he's not going to run. Brandon says to him, where's your pride? Mother effer. And then he hangs up on Kyle. So, whatever this may be, from the, original story, from where they went from, we had to go back to the house, we had to get the gas cans, we're going to have to make a separate trip with you to go to get the gas, with the gas cans, go back and then get you, but when we get there, you're not there. And in the last one, none of this was even mentioned. And I'm thinking, I can't even remember now. But for all of this to be said, and nobody's found, but yet this one's saying he's there, but he ain't. I can see you. The police is there. Run. It just baffles your mind to think, what the hell is this guy doing? If he's there, he's telling his brother to run, but yet when the first one, he just end up missing. No sight of him at all. The search goes on. A truck comes by. What happened to the other truck here that supposedly stopped to call 911? It went from, we're gonna go get gas, to now they're there and the cops there, but no truck, no witness saying that he stopped to call 911. Why did that truck leave? Or even, unless the cop gave him the okay to leave. Kyle approaches the officer, goes on to say, search down the road. He keeps losing signal, he can't find him. The officer says, okay, but tells him he's not in that direction. It's at this point that Kyle learns that Brandon called 911 in between the time that he called Kyle to ask for gas and where's your pride? And the where's your pride? So for him, Brandon to call 911, make all that call, end up disappearing, getting cut off from the line, from the operator, or the nursing home. Nursing home, remember, answers 911 calls. And where's your pride? And call which Brandon tells Kyle to run. Kyle states that he does not know why Brandon would say that, considering Brandon himself called the cops. Right. Why would he say that? Who was there in the dark? Now this, like I said in the last video, that it could have been maybe more than just, two people that followed him. It could have been someone watching to see what happens and unfolds there and will get picked up later. Or he just continues to walk when people start to do their search or whatnot. Or remember the long road on the map that lies beyond that bridge. I mean, this goes on to thinking of anything that could have just... After searching up and down the road, Kyle's son was hungry. I guess his son was in the car. So now this guy brought his kid. And Kyle goes to his bank to withdraw some money, get some food for his son, and fill up the gas can with 5 gallons of gas. So, all right. At this point, he said in the other one the money didn't go in the bank yet, so he would have to get his brother to pay for it. But all of a sudden now in this one, the damn kid, guys, unless it was that late in the morning where the money went into the bank, but how do you got all the time to check this stuff? You mean to tell me right now that this guy all of a sudden goes, maybe checks his bank account? I mean, you can do it. I don't know about back in 2013 or what, 2013 when this was, but if you could have, I mean, yeah, it's there, you can do it, but still, this is all changed. This whole story has changed. Kyle then picks up a friend to help him look for Brandon, and they return to Brandon's truck, fill it with gas. Kyle yells out, "There's no cops anymore. We filled your car with gas. You can come out now." They go up and down the road yelling out for him, but they cannot find him, and they also eventually go back home. At 9 a.m., Brandon's wife files a missing person. That's the end of his statement. Then the conversation starts. Sometime interesting notes. When asked about drug, Kyle's brother states, "I don't believe he was on meth. I know he was." So he knew he was on meth. He's doing drugs. That himself has used meth but has never hallucinated because of it. He also states that Brandon has OD'd before. And while meth caused him to act differently, he's never acted like this, like he did on the night of his disappearance. Kyle says, "I don't believe Ladessa had..." Man, what kind of name is that, Ladessa? And anybody chasing Brandon out of town. Kyle says that the sounds of if Brandon was intentionally running, but later he sounds if he's standing completely still. Brandon tells Kyle that he could see Kyle and the cop, though Kyle says he could not see Brandon anywhere. In explaining how he knows when Vincent Brandon was in the area, he says that the noises that sounded like gunshots in the car were actually sounds of a vehicle going over the bridge over the Colorado River nearby. But Kyle says that though the police doubted him, he passes 2 polygraph exams. Kyle suggests the police officer he spoke to that night should be subject to a polygraph test. Drug-induced psychosis seems like a real possibility now. So, I mean, here's this kid talking about a car falling off the bridge, but obviously there was no car in no friggin' river. I'm sure they combed it and looked for it. It wasn't there. Here's the podcast link. If anybody wants to go on this, you'd have to go to the Crawl Space Podcast on Reddit. See if this story comes up. I mean, I can't do no recording of this stuff because, I'll get copyrighted. I need sleep, but I was too excited since the case has been so mysterious up till now, hearing Brandon's brother Kyle speak. So this obviously is a guy, though, that did the interview. Not sure if he's reliable, but what it's saying does fit quite well. The details about available right now, out of everything I've heard so far, I'm slightly doubtful that Modessa actually had Mexicans chase Brandon out the city. Kyle does not believe Modessa had anything to do with it. No, because I believe Brandon had someone do it because of his own self. Something in the middle there. Something that's missing. And that's where I came in and said, I think this guy had somebody with him. They went to do or catch up with something. He might have picked someone off the street, for Christ's sake, he knew. Went to go buy some more stuff. In the meantime, somehow got pissed off somebody and got chased. Or he just randomly owed somebody money because you get a powerful drug, and if you ain't got money for it, you can't supply that habit. People come after you. They're going to break your legs. They're going to break your face. Or they're just going to shoot you right dead square face in the forehead and just be rid of you. But sometimes you get lucky, because why would they want to do that and lose their top business, right? Their top customer. That's what I think happened to this guy. He did get chased down, and he also got dragged out. In hell, if you're out in that way in Texas, and you could be damn well right dealing with maybe a Mexican mafia. They're out there. And when you get into them hardcore drugs, you're frickin' done. You're done. Consider your life over with. You want to do the meth? You want to do the coke? You want to get all jacked up on that stuff? You get what you deserve in the end if you're going to keep doing it and get the hell off of it. If your kid and wife ain't that important to you, just because you got to get that high that you'll never have again, because you always get that one high, one time. I've heard about it. People have explained it to me, and you're sitting there chasing that one high, and it never comes back. there's something deliberately wrong with you. You have no sense of direction, no sense of life. And if you want to play with the damn game, you get what you deserve. Stuff like this. But if it was just a mere mistake, and this guy just ended up at the wrong place at the wrong time, hey, things happen. And for this poor soul, he could be anywhere around the friggin' globe or throughout Texas at that. Texas is one huge state. There's a lot of goddamn cactuses out there, is right? Desert. Dig that damn dirt up and bury them. Sucks to say, but that's what life is about when you want to get into that bad life. But like I said, there's a lot of stuff that's in this article that ain't in the other one. There's a lot of new stuff that just don't make sense by the brother either. He says he needed money to get his brother in the beginning in 2013, 2014 in the first article I just did. But this one says, I'm going to meet you there. I'm going to get you gas. Don't say we're going to have to go do gas and we have to pick you up to get it. No, he goes straight to the ATM, gets some food for his son, gets the gas. But yet in the other article, he didn't have the money. He had to wait for Brandon to get the money to go down to a gas station 5 miles away. But this guy, Brandon, was trying to get to his father's for some apparent reason. Got caught up in the wrong episode. Never had the chance to get gas because you can't have the chance when you're being chased. Think about it. Whatever he did wrong, whatever the sad story goes to say, them are my thoughts and theories. This ain't on the books. This is what I'm thinking. And they kidnapped him, and they took care of him. So, you can take it as it is. This story is just insane. This article right here is insane because it's all changed from the last one. So, I'm sure this kid Kyle's probably, lost a little bit of his mind because his brother's missing. And gotta try to do the best he can, I guess, to say to keep it together. But as you can see, stuff like this changing, stories changing, there's something there, something not being told, or there's just something there that he don't know, and trying to get the story out the best he can. But I know what I think is what I said, so it's all there, black and white people. If you want to check it out, check out that blue website here, the original podcast. If you want to check out the other stuff, I got the thing up on YouTube that I gotta check out, if it's still there. Hopefully I didn't erase that. Yeah, there it is. Check this out, people. Anybody wants to check this out, Lost Missing Goo. This is the type this in. This has 2 audios of the original phone call that Brandon did, and you will get it and hear it for yourself. And oh man, I tell you, it is very it is creepy. But until that next video, be safe, take care, always beware of your surroundings. Out.